They say good teams find a way to win, and last week, Cherry Creek did just that.
It's crazy. It's magic.
Trailing Mullen by 10 with just over a minute and a half to go, the Bruins went with the magic man, Pat Higgins, who got the two-time defending state champions into this title game against high-scoring Arvada West. In the quarterfinals, the Wildcats put up 60 points. In the semis, they settled for a mere 50. Fourth-year head coach Dave Logan's never made the championship as a player or a coach, so you know he's out to make this trip count. Who will have the magic in this one? It's Arvada West and Cherry Creek for the 5A state title.
News 4 Sports presents the Colorado State High School 5A Football Championships. Live from the Stutler Bowl, it's the Arvada West Wildcats versus the Cherry Creek Bruins.
It's a beautiful day for football. Welcome to the Stutler Bowl on the campus of Cherry Creek High School. Today, the 5A championship game between the two-time defending champions from Cherry Creek and the Arvada West Wildcats. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Miller, along with Marcia Neville and Jeff Campbell. We anticipate a terrific football game, a high-scoring football game. First, let's talk about the challengers from Arvada West, the Wildcats. And Marcia, they can put points on the board.
Oh, boy, can they put points on the board. The last two playoff games, they've scored 110 points against Ponderosa on wet, slippery field. They scored 60 points last week against the Centaurus team. They put 50 on the board. They get it done by passing the ball. The attack is led by a kid who started at quarterback as a sophomore. Steve Cutlip has connected on 60% of his passes for well over 3,000 yards and 31 touchdowns, and he's got 5 receivers with 20 or more catches. One of those receivers is Will Rogers out of the backfield. At tailback, he has run for more than 2,200 yards and 38 touchdowns, and really, he is the player, Gary, who's put them over the top. Transferred in from Rangeview when his mom got a new job at Rocky Flats, kind of the gift for this Arvada West team, and he has made a big difference and really pushed them up to this level. Should be a great game.
It really should be. Let's talk about Cherry Creek, Jeff Campbell, because they've got a running back, perhaps the best this state has ever produced.
Well, no surprise, Cherry Creek's in the finals. Usually they're in the finals every season. They've not won in typical Cherry Creek fashion getting to the finals. They beat Grand Junction 47-14. They beat Loveland 36-20 and just squeaked by Mullen, winning that game in the last seconds of the game 37-35. Now, you talked about Darnell McDonald. He's a kid that can start at any Division I college level team right now. He's rushed the ball 225 times for 1,861 yards and 24 touchdowns. He's an amazing athlete. Arvada West got their hands full with him today. Now, their quarterback, Ben Gusmus, is a kid that can throw the ball. He's thrown the ball this year 115 times, completed the ball 115 times for 1,793 yards and 23 touchdowns. So offensively, Darnell McDonald and Ben Gusmus are going to put some pressure on Arvada West today.
We are anticipating a terrific football game, a high-scoring football game. We're back for the opening kickoff in just a moment.
Colorado State High School Football Championships are brought to you by your Front Range Chrysler Plymouth dealers, by Ankmar Door, by APH Heating and Air, by Vanguard Airlines, and by Stanley Tools. Here's Johnny.
After 5 great years in Denver, there are now over 59,000 John Elway badges, all loaded with power.
Wow! Show me your badge. Time out. And my team, they'll take great care of you. Or I'll hurt them.
5 locations north to south. Why you sitting there on that couch?
John Elway Honda, Mazda, Olden Hyundai North, Toyota and Nissan South, and Ford on Colfax at Colorado.
I'll be back.
Ever since I started traveling with EasyCart, all my other luggage is obsolete.
Introducing the revolutionary new EasyCart from Samsonite Brands.
I used to have a sore arm every time I flew. Then I found EasyCart.
Designed with a 4-wheel system so you can push it or pull it with the weight off your arms and on the ground for maximum maneuverability.
And this terrific set of shelves keeps the whole family organized.
Make your next trip an easy one with a new EasyCart from the family of Samsonite Brands. Samsonite, Lark, and American Tourister.
Hi, I'm Dave Logan. When it comes to checking accounts, the most popular option is First Bank's free Check Us Out checking account. You can call First Bank 24 hours a day and get free checking with no minimum balance, no monthly service charges, and no annual fee in your ATM card or Visa debit card, all for a full year. First Bank offers personal service from local people who care about you. First Bank. Check them out.
First Bank, the Colorado Bank for you.
A sunny morning, but it's cold here at the Stutler Bowl. And last night, of course, we got snow, about 2 or 3 inches. But Jeff Campbell, this field's in terrific shape.
It really is. It's amazing. The sun has really burned off a lot of the snow. We went out on the field, walked around on a little bit earlier today. The field is soft, which I think is going to benefit Cherry Creek a lot with the running ability of their running back, Darnell McDonald.
You know, you make a good point, because I was surprised that the field does have some give to it. I know you've played on artificial turfs that are like playing on concrete. It's turf here, but it does have some give.
It does, and you know, anytime you get an artificial surface like that has some give, it's a lot better to play on. Most of them, like you said, are like playing on a parking lot painted green, and you know, that can take its toll on your body over the course of a football game.
Arvada West will be receiving the kickoff with 32 degrees here just south of Denver at Greenwood Village. Virtually no humidity as usual, 19%. The winds are calm. It shouldn't be a factor. And it is sunny. It's comfortable, but if you're out there playing, I think it's fine for the players. If you're a spectator in the stands, it's going to get a little bit chilly as the day goes along. We're looking at the deep backs for Arvada West. Will Rogers is number 28. Eric Nelson, number 22. As we said, Creek won the toss, electing to defer, and Arvada West will take the football to start off. And Jeff, you'd have to guess for Arvada West, the key is to get off to a good start.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me that Cherry Creek deferred, because Dave Logan's offense has so many different formations in it that defensively it's going to be tough to get a grasp of. So this is a little bit interesting to me that they deferred the coin toss.
So we're pleased you're with us as Brad Winter has teed up the football. Our 5A state championship game is underway. The ball will sail over Will Rogers' head through the end zone, and Arvada West will begin at the 20-yard line. First down to start our game. The 5A state championship game underway. The two-time defending champions from Cherry Creek against Arvada West. Take a look at Arvada West on offense. Steve Cutlip, the quarterback. The running backs Rogers and Jaeger. Tight end Nick Fisher. Preto and Newton, the wide receivers. And we'll see the multiple set offense of Dave Logan come out first down from the 20-yard line, and the setbacks are split. In motion, Newton to the top of your screen. And Cutlip to the air immediately. Over the middle, he's got his tight end, Nick Fisher. A gain of about 10 now. They'll call it incomplete. The pass apparently through the hands of Fisher, hitting the ground. Covered on the play by number 26, Kevin Kufeld.
Well, speaking with Dave Logan earlier,
we'll go through the defense right there, Jeff, with Ross and Witt, Johnson and Stone King up front. Ciaz. We have Zach Zucker listed as a starting linebacker. That could be a change, and Rocky Martin. And the deep backs, Brunson, Bestel, Kufelt, and Contz. This is second down and 10. From the eye, Will Rogers for one, and that's all. And the Cherry Creek defense able to make the stop. Matt Stone King, number 96, stopping Will Rogers on the play.
You know, what I was going to say earlier, just talking with Dave Logan, a lot of the stuff that they do, you'll see they'll spread their 4 wide receivers out. They'll come in with 2 tight ends and 1 wide receiver. They've got a lot of different formations, and a lot of their formations go along the same lines as a run and shoot offense. So they're going to spread the defense out. You may see 6 guys in the box, and they'll probably run the ball if they have 6 guys in the box. If they can get 8 in the box, they'll throw it a lot.
Ryan Lance, by the way, number 55, is a starting linebacker for Cherry Creek. This is a third down play. It's third and just about 8. Off the play action, Cutlip steps up in the pocket, and Stone King's got him, and down he goes. And Cherry Creek makes the statement immediately on defense, and Arvada West has to punt after losing 3 yards on their 3 plays.
Well, Stone King, big, strong. He comes right up the middle. You know, he's going to be a guy that's going to plug holes all game long for Cherry Creek. He's been doing that all year. Up the middle, puts a lot of pressure on Cutlip and gets the sack.
You can see how fast that Cherry Creek defense was. Very impressive.
Very fast and very big.
Got to the quarterback in a hurry. All right, Arvada West has to kick it away, and this punt's not going very far. Sailing on the near sideline, and now out of bounds at the 47-yard line. So the kick there by Adam Solanke gives Cherry Creek outstanding field position. It's only a 29-yard kick, and Creek will come out on offense for the first time, and you couldn't have better field position at the 47-yard line. Gusmus, McDonald, and Spivey in the backfield. Flavin, the tight end, a good blocker. They won't throw to him very often. And Higgins and Rebstock are the wide receivers. Up front, it's Hutchinson, and he's a good one with Jorgensen, Owen, Mork, and Dick. Ben Gusmus brings his team to the line. It's first down. And he'll go to the air immediately. And the pass intercepted by Arvada West. Picked off by Jason Lucas, number 12, the safety. And the Wildcats have immediately gotten the football back.
Well, unbelievable play. Anytime you get in a state championship game, if you can get any type of momentum, and really for Arvada West, this is an away game. This is a home field advantage for Cherry Creek. You see the quarterback trying to force a pass in there, and just a tremendous effort by Jason Lucas to step in front of the wide receiver and make that play.
The ball sailed on him a little bit as Lucas able to get it away from Rebstock on the play. It's first down, so the field position negated on the turnover. Football at the 35-yard line. The Wildcats have it right back on offense, and now they'll pitch it to their tailback, Will Rogers, looking to turn the corner. And Will gets up over the 40 to the 43-yard line on the play. Will Rogers, who averages 9.9 yards every time he touches the football, able to gain about 8 on that one.
Well, Rogers, his statistics this year are amazing. He's rushed the ball 222 times for 2,213 yards. And why he's rushed that is because you can see how strong he is. He'll pull away from one guy if you try to tackle him.
Definition of a guy doing it on his own on that one, not
Absolutely.
a blocker in sight.
Well, if you're running for that many yards, you're doing a lot of that on your own.
Second down, they'll call it 3. No score in our game. We've played a couple of minutes here at the Stutler Bowl. Rogers again. And Creek's got him a gain of a yard on the play. Third down coming up. Making the stop, Ben Witt, number 91. 6'3", 190-pound senior. You can see Cutlip looking to the sideline and trying to get the play from Coach Dave Logan. Third down and just about a yard coming up for the first down. 9:17 to go in the first. And this Arvada West offense would like very much to stay on the field for a while, but the Creek defense is about as tough as they come. They've averaged about 10 points a game allowed so far this year. Something's got to give here today, and so far I don't think it's the Creek defense. They stop Arvada West.
Well, the defensive line of Cherry Creek right now is playing very well. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. Anytime I think you've got a nose guard with the name of Stone King, you're going to have some problems. But, they're putting a lot of pressure, not allowing the running game for Arvada West to get going. And that's going to be an important deal for Arvada West to get going, because you've got to establish your running game in order to get your passing game on track.
Mike Wolford indicating he wants timeout before this fourth down play. With Arvada West punting, Wolford elects to call timeout. We got a view a moment before of the defensive coordinator, Rocky Martin. And apparently Creek... perhaps not quite sure Arvada West really meant it when they got in punt formation, because they weren't happy with their setup on the play, and they used one of their 3 first-half timeouts.
Well, offensively, they can do a lot of stuff with that offense with Dave Logan and his different sets.
All right, fourth down coming up. We'll see if Arvada West is going to punt the football. There's no score at the Stutler Bowl.
There is a low-fare airline in Denver. And here's proof. Fly Frontier, Denver's low-fare airline. Seats are limited, restrictions apply. If you didn't think there was a low-fare airline in Denver, check these numbers. Always low fares to every Frontier town. That's the spirit.
The spirit of Frontier.
Holiday shopping? Let's just see what's in Santa's big old bag of holiday savings at Gart's. Why, it's a Reebok Used Odyssey or Reckless jacket for only $59.99. On Dasher, on Dancer. Gotta get to Gart's.
The Stanley Sharpshooter staple gun makes it easy to drive a staple flush on the first squeeze, and on the next squeeze, right down to the last squeeze. Because let's face it, when have you ever needed just one staple? The Sharpshooter, only from Stanley.
Adam Solanke will punt it away on fourth down. It's 4th and half a yard, but at his own 44-yard line, Dave Logan not about to gamble this early in the football game. McDonald and Rebstock are back. And they'll angle it to McDonald's side of the field. That's a terrific kick by Solanke, going over the head of McDonald and through the end zone. So Adam, who earlier Had one go off the side of his foot for only 29 yards, makes amends with a 56-yard boomer.
That was a big kick for a high school punter. I mean, the first one he did shank off, but that one, nice high kick, turned over in the air and almost got out of bounds around the 5.
Some people thought by this time the score might be 14-10, but we've played almost 4 minutes, Jeff, and it's the defense is making statements.
Yeah, I thought originally this would come out and be a very high-scoring game, but it is still early, and you never know. Logan's offense as well as the Cherry Creek offense can explode at any time.
Cherry Creek came out, and the first pass they threw was intercepted, so they've run one play from scrimmage. Now they give it to McDonald, and look at Darnell find running room over the 30 to the 32-yard line, and a first down.
Well, this is why Darnell McDonald could start for any Division I school in the country. His feet are amazing. You see him when he gets up into the hole, he follows his blocking very well, makes short adjustments as far as cuts go, and gets his shoulder square when he gets up the field.
And always running under control. Almost at times looks like he's in slow motion. Everybody else moving quickly, but he's picking his spots, and he is moving.
That's exactly right.
First down, 32-yard line. They're in the eye. Play action for Gusmus, looking, throwing deep and wide open. Higgins in Wildcat territory inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Pat Higgins, who had an incredible final 2 minutes last week against Mullen, scored 2 touchdowns in between, recovered the onside kick as Creek was able to overcome Mullen wide open on the play.
We see Higgins get by a corner. There had to be a busted coverage there with a linebacker or a cornerback that he wasn't picked up because there really wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him when he caught that ball.
A 42-yard pickup on. Now, that's a little too far, isn't it, Ray? Well, we'll check on that. We think it was 42? Football to the 37-yard line. As Cherry Creek was able to go deep for the first time and successfully on the play. Yeah, 32 on the play, eh? Yeah, we'll take 32. I think that's a little closer. 37-yard line and a first down for the Bruins. Kyle Shanahan in motion now. Yeah, Coach Mike Shanahan's son is in the game. He's number 2. The inside handoff to the fullback, Spivey, who gets to the 33-yard line. Jake Crawford, number 24, Brian Langdon, number 16, couple of linebackers making the stop for Arvada West. Spivey is something. Here's a kid we understand who's being looked at by Stanford. He is a 3.8 or 3.9 GPA, and also one of the great blockers.
They say he's probably the best, one of the best blocking fullbacks in the not only in the state, but maybe in the country as a high school player.
Slot on the left side, the wide side of the field. They go short side, and McDonald spinning. Look at Darnell at the 20, the 15, the far sideline, out of bounds at around the 13-yard line on the play.
What can you say about Darnell McDonald? Not only is he a tremendous football player, but he is also an excellent baseball player. He's going to have the opportunity to play both sports if he goes to college or if he decides to go into Major League Baseball right away. But you see his athletic ability here. He's patient. All really good running backs are patient. They have the ability to make spin moves like that. He's always under control. He's got his feet under him, and he makes big plays like that for you all year long.
Football at the 14-yard line. A first down for Cherry Creek. They are driving. This drive started back at the 20-yard line, so they are in control right now, and they give it to Darnell McDonald. Wide side, inside the 10, puts his head down, flag on the play as he's forced out of bounds at the 7-yard line. First penalty of the game thrown by the officiating crew. Justin Turner, number 6, made the stop on Darnell, who comes from out of bounds on the Arvada West side and goes through the snowdrift there.
Yep.
Veteran referee Bud Shefflin makes the call, and the clip against the offense will nullify the play.
Well, that's an interesting call. I didn't see the clip. It may have been on Spivey going, blocking for Darnell around the corner, but you see the speed of Darnell once he gets the ball in his hands. He can change speed and keep defense off balance.
Mike Wolford in his 7th year as Cherry Creek bids for its 5th title in 7 years. They've won 4 of 6. And you can see his terrific record, 68-14. And there, Dave Logan in his 4th year at Arvada West. And Dave's rather successful, too. 41 up and 7 down. McDonald. And Darnell's got more running room. Look at the moves to the 10-yard line, still on his feet. And finally forced down at around the 9-yard line. Ryan Campbell, number 56, put a stop on Darnell McDonald. It almost seems like he's just moving faster than everybody else.
Well, Cherry Creek's offensive line is just doing an excellent job right now working the defensive line of Arvada West. And if you give Darnell McDonald that type of a hole, you can see what he'll do to you. Now, you see the strength of him. It takes 2 or 3 Arvada West players to bring him to the ground.
It's 2nd and 5. 5:45 to go. No score in the first quarter, but the Bruins are driving. McDonald inside the 5, close to the 4-yard line, and close to the first down. Cherry Creek averages about 40 points a game. Arvada West averages about 40 points a game. Difference is normally Arvada West gives up around 20 and Creek gives up about 10. So question is, can Arvada West stick with Cherry Creek's offense today? That remains to be seen. We are seeing, as we expected, the Bruins successfully moving the football.
Well, you've got to be able to contain Darnell McDonald. You're not going to stop him, but you got to be able to contain him so he doesn't get big runs for lots of yardage.
3rd and less than a yard from the eye. Yeah, I'd give it to McDonald. No, it's not McDonald. Number 6 in the game instead. He got into the end zone. Flags on the play. That's Logan Deans, number 6 in the game for Cherry Creek on offense. But a penalty coming up against the Bruins.
Oh! False start! Offense! Well, Creek's shooting themselves in the foot here. They get down around the 10-yard line twice and haven't been able to pop it in because of penalties.
Darnell McDonald has 4 carries so far for 46 yards. You don't expect him to come out of the game with the football at around the 5-yard line. He was out on that play. He's back in, and Deans to the sideline. This is a 3rd down play. It's 3rd and a little more than 5. They have to get to around the 4 for a first down. McDonald's got it. Breaks the tackle to the 5. Still driving toward the goal line and into the end zone. Touchdown with a flag on the play.
Well, again, the strength of McDonald. This will be an interesting call to see what this penalty is, if it is against Creek or Arvada West.
I think it will be against the Wildcats, Jeff. The indication of face mask against Arvada West. It is a touchdown for Cherry Creek, so Darnell McDonald has scored, and the Bruins have the lead.
Well, McDonald, again, showing his strength and his athletic ability, taking the handoff and just picking his way through the hole, getting behind the big guys, his offensive lineman, and then does it all himself from about the 5-yard line in. You see his leg drive. Good running backs never stop their legs, and that's what he did to get in the end zone right there.
His legs are going one way, his hips are going the other way.
That's a good running back.
Tough kid to tackle. Brad Winters will try and tack on the PAT, and Brad's kick has plenty of distance, and it's right through the middle. And with 4:33 to go in the first quarter, the Bruins have just driven 80 yards and taken the lead. Cherry Creek going 80 yards in 7 plays, and they've got a 7-0 lead over Arvada West in the 5A state championship football game.
What's so special about this badge?
It's a 2-day money-back guarantee.
Now that's power.
Introducing the 10-minute credit check, 10-minute appraisal, 1-hour fast buy.
It's fast.
60-day used car warranty.
We treat our used cars like our new cars.
The drive for education.
Let's give our kids a real shot at a winning future.
7 automotive brands at 5 John Elway dealerships. Get the badge.
It slices, it dices, it makes julienne fries by the dozen. And just look what it does to this tin can.
Between coaching, broadcasting, and family, there's not a lot of time for anything else. That's why I like First Bank. They're locally owned with over 60 locations right here in Colorado. You can call First Bank anytime, 24 hours a day. And the best deal of all is free checking. That means no minimum balance, no monthly service charges, and no annual fee and an ATM card, all for a full year. First Bank. Check them out.
First Bank, Colorado Bank for
An 80-yard Cherry Creek drive in 7 plays puts them on the board at 7-0. Darnell McDonald scoring the touchdown. And, Jeff, one thing we're pretty sure is 7 points will not be enough to win this football game.
No, it's not. You know, Arvada West needs to get their offense on track, and I think once they get a little bit over the nerves of the state championship game, they'll do just that.
Winter kicks. It's Nelson and Rogers back. It'll be Will Rogers from the 3-yard line. Will out to the 17. He's not going any further. Number 15, Chris Rasmussen. Number 63, Nick Stenger. Travis Olmstead. Number 53, all involved on the tackle. So it's not exactly great field position for Arvada West to begin from their own 17-yard line.
Well, it's going to be important right now that Arvada West get their running game started. They get it established. If they have to start running outside to get away from the defensive linemen of Cherry Creek, that's what they're going to have to do.
Well, last week, Arvada West able to put 50 on the board against Centaurus. And we'll see if they can get their offense going. And Cutlip wants to throw. Has Newton at the 20-yard line, tackled immediately on the play. A gain of about 3. Matt Vestal, number 19, up from his cornerback spot to make the stop. His brother Ben was the strong safety last year, now playing at UNC.
Cutlip on a little 3-step drop. Get the ball out quick. Don't allow Cherry Creek's defensive line to get any penetration. Get your receivers their hands on the ball and work your way up the field like that.
Wide receivers each way. 2 go each way. The lone setback is the tailback, Will Rogers. And they give it to Will on the draw, finding running room over the 25 to the 27. Ball loose at the end of the play. But they say Will was down. Football to the 27, very close to the first down.
For Will Rogers, you know, we mentioned earlier he had rushed for 2,213 yards this year, and he hits the line so fast. As soon as that ball gets handed off to him, he's at the line of scrimmage and doesn't allow defenses to get there and make tackles on him. That's why he's averaging like 9 yards a carry.
First measurement of the day. It'll be 3rd and short or a first down for Arvada West. And if it is a first down, it'll be the Wildcats first. Pretty darn close. It's about the same distance the Broncos made that first down against Minnesota last week.
Yeah, very, very close.
Good thing there wasn't an extra link in the chain in Minnesota, and good thing there wasn't an extra link here today, at least for Arvada West. They've got their first down.
Yeah, hey, when you're the Broncos, you got Lady Luck on your side like that. It's a great thing to have.
Well, they go trips left this time. Wide receiver to the right, 3 to the left. Dave Logan is multiple formation offense. And Cutlip with another draw to Rogers. Will's got running room. The 40. He could go midfield. Breaks a tackle. There goes Will Rogers. And Arvada West is on the scoreboard. "73 yards for Will Rogers. And Arvada West on the verge of tying the game.
Well, I talked earlier about the way that Will Rogers hits the line of scrimmage. You're going to see it coming right at you right now. Here he comes. Big time play right there. He gets to the line of scrimmage, makes his move, and then good running backs have excellent vision. They get upfield, they have vision, and then the power that he has in his legs to pull away, and the speed he has to get down the sidelines and in the end zone.
Will Rogers' longest play from scrimmage this year, 80 yards. He came close, 72 on that one.
Now, Will is another back that you're going to see playing on Saturdays for some school in the country.
Dan Harmon will try to tie the game out of Mike Newton's hold. And it is tied. 3:15 to go. And Arvada West has answered Cherry Creek and answered them quickly. That's an 83-yard drive for Arvada West. And I think finally a prediction came true. We said 7 points wouldn't be enough to win this football game.
No, it's going to be an offensive shootout. And, you know, they had to get their running game established, and that's what they did on this drive. They got it established. You see Will again. Here's another replay, different angle for you. And the speed that he has to get up the field and make cuts at full speed, get down the sidelines. You know, running backs, Darnell McDonald and Rogers are a lot the same. They're about the same height, about the same weight, and they can run about the same, which is, it's going to be a fun battle to watch this year.
You know, but when you see a trips receiver formation to the left, another guy wide to the right, you think it's a wide open passing game. What you're really doing is you're spreading the field, and if you can break through that initial tackler there at the line of scrimmage, it's wide open.
That's right. You're spreading your defense out. You're trying to get rid of the 8 guys that they have in the box, and you're negating strong athletes like Stone King from making plays on your running backs.
Lenny LaGuardia will kick off, and he booms it toward the end zone. McDonald watches it float over his head. Cherry Creek will start first down at the 20-yard line. One thing about Dave Logan's teams, they score in a hurry. I think last week when they were playing Centaurus in the first half, they had 14 plays. Centaurus had 45 plays. The game was tied at halftime, 21-21. And Logan kept saying, we just keep scoring too quickly. And Will Rogers on the first play of that game went 70-some-odd yards for a touchdown.
Absolutely. That goes back to the different formations he has in his offense.
Spivey is the up man. He's got the football, and Arvada West has Spivey. Ryan Leonard, number 69, with help from Al Cedillo, number 61, making the tackle. Got him right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. A 7-7 tie as we look at Mike Wolford. 25 years at Cherry Creek. Took over as head coach, as we said, 7 years ago, bidding for his 5th state title. Gusmus throws on the far side, the short gainer. That's Rebstock into the slow snowbank over there. Pyatt and Lucas making the stop on Pete. Third down coming up, football to the 26-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Well, Rebstock is the guy that they're going to have to get involved in the offense early in this game, so he makes his presence known. He's a receiver that can catch the ball. When he gets the ball in his hands, he can make a lot of things happen after he gets it.
Slot on the left. They're in the eye. It's a big play for Arvada West's defense to see if they can force Creek 3 and out. And Gusmus, the lob, and this one's overthrown. Rebstock claims he was being bumped illegally along the way by Brad Pyatt, but Pyatt was with him step for step. I don't think the ball was catchable anyway. And Arvada West defense does stop them 3 and out.
Yeah, Pyatt playing a little man-to-man coverage here. Does an excellent job getting him outside and getting his hand on his hip, and trips actually on the back of Rebstock's feet, which I think he thought was pass interference.
Winters does all the kicking for Creek. And his first punt, he takes his time. And this one will bound to the 45-yard line. Hit a Wildcat player. That could have been big trouble for Arvada West. But that player able to cover up. That's Jason Spears, who saved himself a heck of a lot of trouble following the 31-yard punt.
Well, that's a heads-up play by Spears to get back on that ball. The deep man, the guy that is returning punts for Arvada West, that's his job to alert the guys when it's a short punt. It's usually a poison call, so they don't have problems when the ball comes down and hits one of your guys and Cherry Creek recovers and goes, it gets excellent field position.
Now Arvada West comes out 43-yard line with a lot of confidence now following their last drive that resulted in a game-tying touchdown. They're in the eye, wide receivers each way with 2:26 to go in the first quarter. And Cutlip to throw. Rush on. Steve tries to step up. He's in trouble, and Steve's got nowhere to go. Creek will bury him back at around the 36-yard line. The second time they've sacked Steve Cutlip.
Well, that is a coverage sack by Cherry Creek. The coverage, the defensive backs and the free safety linebackers did an excellent job of covering the receivers from Arvada West and not giving Cutlip the opportunity to find anybody that was open. Then his defensive linemen have the opportunity to get in there and make a play.
Yeah, Ryan Lance got in there. Greg Ciaz, number 57, also involved. Football back to the 38-yard line. It'll be second down at just about 15. And this time it's trip receivers to the right, the wide side of the field for Dave Logan's Wildcats. And on the slant, Atencio has it go right through his hands. Matt Vestal on the coverage, but Andy Atencio, number 82, who's caught 24 passes this year for 309 yards, had that one go through his hands. It's incomplete. It's third down.
Well, they went back to the 3-step drop with the quarterback. Little slant routes outside by the receivers, and Atencio just couldn't hang on to the football.
Arvada West lost only one game this year. That was to Mullen in the second week of the season, 58-25. Really the only common opponent these teams have, because last week Mike Wolford's Bruins played Mullen down by 10 with about a minute and a half or 2 minutes to go, and ultimately able to miraculously win 37-35. Third down. Over the middle. Hanging on Lindemeyer. It's short of the first down. Football to the 49-yard line. Rocky Martin put the hit on him. But at midfield, with a fourth down coming up in about 4, the Wildcats have to kick it away.
Well, back again to the 3-step drop. Slants on the outside by the receivers. Lindemeyer, excellent job turning his hands and his body around to catch the ball. And Rocky Martin putting a big hit on him after he catches it.
Solanke will kick. Adams' third punt of the day is another beauty. High to McDonald, who grabs it deep in Creek territory. And let's watch Darnell run. McDonald to the 23-yard line. Ran out of real estate on the far side of the field. And Creek will begin first down at the 23. Jake Crawford, number 24, made the stop on a 41-yard punt by Adam Solanke. So Adams punted 3 times, 2 good ones, 1 not quite so good. but Creek begins in their own territory.
You know, Solanke's doing so well as he's cutting off the field for McDonald to run in. He's angling his punts to the corners, so he eliminates one side of the field for McDonald to run on.
Final minute of this, the first quarter. McDonald's got the football out to the 25-yard line. Stopped there by number 16, Brian Langdon. Jay Crawford, number 24, involved on the play too. Second down and just about 7 coming up. So as expected, a close football game. Coming toward the end of the first quarter as we look at the Arvada West side. Gussman so far 2 for 4, 36 yards, and he's been intercepted on his first pass. Could be the final play of this first quarter, probably will be. Logan Dean stopped behind the line. A loss back to the 23-yard line, a third down play coming up, and 1 quarter is in the books at the Stutler Bowl on the campus of Cherry Creek High School. Good ball game. We anticipated it. We've got it so far. A 7-7 tie after 1. Cherry Creek and Arvada West are dead even.
Ever since I started traveling with Easy Cart, all my other luggage is obsolete.
Introducing the revolutionary new Easy Cart from Samsonite Brands.
I used to have a sore arm every time I flew. Then I found Easy Cart.
Designed with a 4-wheel system so you can push it or pull it with the weight off your arms and on the ground for maximum maneuverability.
And this terrific set of shelves keeps the whole family organized.
Make your next trip an easy one with a new Easy Cart from the family of Samsonite Brands. Samsonite, Lark, and American Tourister.
Hi, I'm Dave Logan. When it comes to checking accounts, the most popular option is First Bank's free Check Us Out checking account. You can call First Bank 24 hours a day and get free checking with no minimum balance, no monthly service charges, and no annual fee in your ATM card or Visa debit card, all for a full year. First Bank offers personal service from local people who care about you. First Bank, check them out.
First Bank, the Colorado Bank for you.
Yes, there is a low-fare airline in Denver, and here's proof. Fly Frontier, Denver's low-fare airline. Seats are limited, restrictions apply. If you didn't think there was a low-fare airline in Denver, check these numbers. Always low fares to every Frontier town. That's the spirit.
The spirit of Frontier.
A 7-7 tie. Let's go downstairs to Marcia Neville.
Yeah, just a couple of thoughts after that first quarter. Will Rogers, as he went past me after that long touchdown run with a kind of a dazed grin on his face, just kind of like, wow, we're in this one. This feels good, and you just kind of feel Arvada West coming back up. Also a thought after Cherry Creek scored that first touchdown, the worst of the defense, as you might expect. Stay in there. That's over and done with. Just play football. Stay down in your blocks. You're being pushed off. Understandably, that Creek's awfully big, and they need to stay with their blocks on defense for Arvada West. We'll see some of that here, hopefully here in the second quarter. Back up to you.
All right, Marsh, and Cherry Creek comes up empty on their third down play. Higgins could not handle the football, and now they've got to kick it away. Brad Winter will do that. He averages 35 yards per punt. And Arvada West figures to come up with pretty good field position. That is not a good kick. It'll sail out of bounds on the Wildcat side. And the ball went out of bounds right around the 49-yard line of Cherry Creek. So the Wildcats begin first down in Creek territory.
Well, this gives the Wildcats an opportunity with good field position after the shank punt to get the ball back in the end zone. Now, the defense of Arvada West, excellent job getting penetration up the field and putting pressure on Cherry Creek's offense. I think right now the momentum swing is on Arvada West side.
Brad Winter with a 25-yard punt. This telecast an exclusive presentation of KCNC-TV and CBS Incorporated. Any rebroadcast or reuse of this telecast without the express written consent of KCNC-TV and CBS is prohibited. First down, Wildcats, 49-yard line. Cutlip on the slant, and the ball perhaps knocked away by Brunson. He was there on the coverage. Jason Proto, number 2, the intended receiver, second down.
Go ahead, trips right out to the right side of our Arvada West line. Single receiver set to the left. Tried to throw a little slant, and Brunson, excellent job getting his hand over the top of the receiver without touching him and knocking the ball away.
Trips right this time. Dave Logan wants some of the folks along his sideline to move on back. I'm sure the officials told the coach, get your kids back. Second down play. Try it again. This time it works. Proto at the 40 wraps up the football, 38-yard line. First down, Arvada West. Jeff Brunson again on the coverage, but not before an 11-yard pickup and a Wildcat first down.
Well, same play that they just had. They're going back to their three-step drop by the quarterback, get the ball out of his hands quick and into your receiver's hands, let them make the play. You see Preto catch the ball, block the DB out with his body so it doesn't allow him to make the play on the football.
So Logan obviously liked the looks of that play the first time. When it didn't work, went right back to it and was rewarded with 11 yards. Cutlip on the draw. Will Rogers again in the open field to the 20-yard line. Another Wildcat first down, an 18-yard run by Will Rogers.
Will Rogers is very, very impressive. This is the first opportunity I've gotten to see Will Rogers run this year. Again, very quick to the line and balance. He gets hit from the side, keeps his balance up the field, squares his shoulders, and gets about 20 yards out of the play. Now, running backs like Will Rogers, 7 rushes for 107 yards today.
Wow.
That the statistics speak for themselves.
Of course, that 73-yarder, the bulk of it in the touchdown. First down, football at the 20-yard line, trips left for the Wildcats. They like the draw play, and why not? Rogers to the 13-yard line before Rocky Martin hopped on board and brought him down. A pickup of 7 on the play.
Well, the offensive line of Arvada West is starting to take control of the game up front against the defensive line. They're starting to get good movement around the defensive line of Cherry Creek.
A 7-7 tie, 10:35 to go in the second quarter, and the Wildcats want a timeout before the 2nd and 3 play. And that'll give Dave Logan a chance to go onto the field with his offense as we take a look at Mike Wolford. And I think Mike a little frustrated right now with the Arvada West success offensively, and there's the mastermind. And you have one of those plays that Logan has diagrammed, Soupy, that you can fill us in on some of that terminology?
Well, I had one sitting around here, and it has seemed to have disappeared. Actually, here's one right here. One of his plays that he sends in with his wide receivers or whoever is shuttling the play in would sound something like this. Our right slot, Sammy fake, fullback bounce right, smash seam left on 1. Now, that's a lot to remember coming from the sideline. Now, in 15 yards, you can forget a lot of stuff between the sidelines and where you get in there.
That prepares the kids, I think, nicely for calculus, or maybe advanced calculus.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's a test that they have to take to make sure that they can get those plays in there. But you know what? That does prepare them for the kids that are going to be able to go on from here and play college. That's what college plays sound like, and that's kind of like what pro plays sound like. So it enables them to be familiar with that type of stuff when they get there.
I was thinking when you were in high school, you probably would have paid to be in this offense.
Oh, man. Well, I was a running back, so I wanted to be in an offense where they ran the football.
Okay.
I was big in high school.
Will Rogers is a running back, not doing too badly in this offense.
No. I was big in high school. Really.
How big?
I don't know. I was 6'3" when I went to CU.
So what happened?
Came out at about 5'8". A lot of crack blocks in my day.
You were 6'3", 125. Second down and 4. Arvada West driving. Deep in Cherry Creek territory. Cutlip to throw with a flag on the play. Steve lobs for the end zone. It's incomplete, intended for Newton on the coverage. Kufeld downfield, the safety. But as we said, a marker on the play.
It may be a legal motion on Arvada West. Looked like one of the offensive linemen may have moved early.
Well, whatever the penalty is, it's Arvada West applauding the call. As we take a look.
We have illegal procedure offense.
Why did Arvada West applaud that call?
Yeah. Somebody had moved early on the offensive line, I believe, of the call, and on the play, and it just would have negated the touchdown or reception if they'd have made it.
5-yard penalty. Creek will accept the penalty, so we'll have second down again. They move the football back to the 19-yard line. They have to get to the 10 for a first down. 2nd and 9 coming up. Darnell McDonald has scored for Creek. Will Rogers for Arvada West. Neither came as a surprise. 7-all. Trips left this time, short side of the field. Atencio has the wide side of the field all to himself. Rogers the lone setback at 2nd and 9. Cutlip against the blitz. Throws for Preto to the 15 to the 13-yard line. Greg Ciaz, number 57, 6 foot, 220-pound senior linebacker, able to wrap him up on the play.
That's a play that they made very, very popular at Notre Dame with the Rocket. When Rocket was there, it's a wide receiver screen. They get 3 wide receivers out to the left, and they block with the 2 wide receivers. They'll go down 5 yards, allow the receiver who's catching the ball on the screen to catch the ball and get up the field right away. It's just that extra blocking that they have there.
Wide receivers each way, 2 wide receivers each way, in fact. 3rd down. Movement in Cherry Creek's line. They were able to get back, though. They give it to Rogers, and he is hit behind the line. A big defensive play for the Bruins. And number 90, Frank Johnson, who's one of their key defensive linemen, and a good one. 6 feet, 220-pound senior Frank Johnson stopped Will Rogers back at the 17-yard line.
Well, Frank Johnson really comes free. Must have been a mistake on the offensive line on blocking, because Frank Johnson came through there untouched and made a big play.
Dan Harmon on to try the field goal. His long this year is a 43-yarder. This from the 25-yard line, a 35-yarder from the hash mark on the left. And Harmon's kick is good. A 35-yard field goal for Dan Harmon has given Arvada West the lead over Cherry Creek. 8:53 to go till halftime. The Wildcats lead 10-7.
One great badge deserves another. John Elway Nissan, just east of I-25 on Arapahoe Road. And right now, it's the only place to get winter warm-up savings on the all-new 97 Pathfinder. Nissan has delivered over 100 extra Pathfinders to John Elway Nissan, and that means huge savings for you. Get a loaded 97 Pathfinder for just $299 a month at John Elway Nissan, just east of I-25 on Arapahoe Road.
Between coaching, broadcasting, and family, there's not a lot of time for anything else. That's why I like First Bank. They're locally owned with over 60 locations right here in Colorado. You can call First Bank anytime, 24 hours a day. And the best deal of all is free checking. That means no minimum balance, no monthly service charges, and no annual fee and an ATM card, all for a full year. First Bank. Check them out.
First Bank, the Colorado Bank for you.
So Arvada West has scored the last 10 points in the game. Dan Harmon successful on the 35-yard field goal, and Wildcats have the lead 10-7. Arvada West will kick off. Lenny LaGuardia handles the kickoff duties, a left-footed booter. Rebstop and McDonald. They were together for a while, I think, trying to confuse Arvada West as to who was going to go to which side of the field. Now they split, and a line drive with a flag thrown as the ball is kicked, and they'll blow it dead.
Both defenses of Arvada West and Cherry Creek, I think, are playing excellent football right now. I thought that at this point of the game, the score would be up around 21-21 somewhere, but the defensive have played very, very well.
Dead ball! Illegal procedure on the receiving team, 5 yards.
Now, I'm not sure I've seen that before. Illegal procedure on the team receiving a kickoff.
No, I'm kind of confused on it, too. I'd have to see. You know what they did? Maybe one of the front line guys had moved early.
You know, we could study the film, maybe have an answer by Thursday.
Sure,
yeah,
be good.
We'd know exactly what had happened.
Absolutely. I'm giving it to you, though.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. So LaGuardia gets to do it again. Arvada West scoring on an...
Flag! We will re-kick.
Now the officials decide that the flag was thrown in error.
Where it was.
Yeah, that seemed to be a pretty strange call right there.
So Lenny LaGuardia will tee it up again at the 40-yard line, and we'll do it again. An 8-play, 31-yard drive leading to the field goal, giving Arvada West the lead. Creek 13-0. Been quite a year for Cherry Creek, but they know that they're good. They also know they were lucky last week as they were able to come from behind and edge Mullen. A 12-1 season for Arvada West. And LaGuardia into the football. And another liner that will stay in bounds, and McDonald picks it up, and Darnell's over the 20, down that far sideline, the 25-yard line, or perhaps out of bounds at around the 24. That's where he stepped out. Tackle made by number 12, Jason Lucas. So the Bruins begin first down at the 24-yard line. What's a game like last week where Cherry Creek has such an incredible, miraculous win? What does it do to a team the next week when they come out and have to play a championship game?
Well, it can leave you with somewhat of a hangover because you've spent all your emotion and abilities during that last game, and it'd be tough to get up for something like this. But Cherry Creek's been here before. They know exactly how to handle it.
Yeah, they're used to being in this game. They're in the eye, and McDonald gets the ball, and Arvada West gets McDonald. Nick Chavez, number 33, right defensive end. A terrific defensive end, in fact. 6'2", 205. He was able to make the stop. He's number 33. So McDonald for only a yard. And that's headline news.
Well, so far, Arvada West defense has done an incredible job of being able to contain McDonald. But, you got to keep in mind, McDonald's just like Rogers. He's a guy that can break a 70-yard run in a hurry.
Wide receivers each way for Cherry Creek. It's 2nd and 9. Darnell over the 25, maintaining his balance, showing the sort of balance he has out to the 30-yard line on the play.
Well, McDonald, if he hadn't have stumbled, you'll see him coming to the line of scrimmage here. Right up the gut, makes a good cut back inside, and if he can keep his feet right here, it could be a big gain because there wasn't much after he got through that line of scrimmage.
Another big third down play. Does Cherry Creek go 3 and out, or can they start this drive? Darnell averaging 8 yards a carry so far. They gave him the ball. He needs 4 for the first down. He's got 4 and more over the 40 to 45-yard line. Forced out of bounds on the Arvada West side at around the 48 or 49-yard line. So Darnell McDonald on third down comes up big for Cherry Creek. First down Bruins.
Well, you get a good shot of Darnell coming out of the backfield here, taking the handoff, gets his shoulder square, makes a move on the defensive back of Arvada West and gets up the field. Once he gets up the field, all that athletic ability starts to take over, and he can do a lot of damage to you.
Those are the football right at the 50-yard line. McDonald, 9 carries, 84 yards. He got 20 on the last play. First down for Cherry Creek at midfield. Their slot left, they're in the eye. And they gave McDonald a breather and gave it to Logan Deems, who got about 3 to the 47-yard line of the Wildcats. So Cherry Creek starting to drive now, trailing in our game 10-7. Creek scored the first touchdown. Arvada West has come through with the last 10 points.
Well, Cherry Creek going back to what they do best, and that's run the football. Get Darnell McDonald involved in the offense as much as possible. When he gets tired, give him a break, get him fresh, and get him back in there.
Bruins come to the line prior to the 2nd and 7. Clock moving, less than 7 to go till halftime. Play action, Gusma still has it. Ben looking, throwing into coverage, it's incomplete. Rebstock covered tightly by Brad Pyatt. And also number 10, Chase Campbell. Third down.
Well, Pyatt, tremendous coverage on that play. You'll see the replay, good fake. Comes out to the right side and sets his feet and throws the ball. Now, Pyatt, just an excellent job of putting his hand in front of the ball and knocking it away at the last minute.
Yeah, he touched it, and then Rebstock unable to hang on, and for good reason. That was terrific coverage on the Arvada West defense. Gusma so far 2 for 6, 36 yards, and has been intercepted once. Third down for the Bruins. It's 3rd and 7. Gusma rolls left. Has his man far side, and out of bounds Higgins. It appears he has the first down. Football to the 39-yard line. And it is a first down for the Bruins as Pat Higgins comes up big on the third down play.
There's a little end zone view for you to take a look. Wide receiver on the outside does a little in and back out route to try to get the defensive back to look like he's running an inside route. Gets back outside. That's why the separation that you see there was what the wide receiver did with his route.
Gusmus able to roll left and throw to the left side and get the first down. Darnell McDonald carries the pile to the 33-yard line. He got 5 on the play.
Well, Cherry Creek right now is doing an excellent job of mixing the run and the pass because Arvada West for a while was doing a great job of stopping Darnell McDonald, but now they're starting to mix the run and the pass a little bit. It's going to give Darnell McDonald the opportunity to get more holes.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Jeff, because right now you're the Arvada West defense, and I don't think you have any idea what's coming up next. It's 2nd and 5. Wide receivers go each way again. They're in the eye. Gusmus calling signals. That's Kyle Shanahan in motion. And Spivey gets it the other way. And look at Big Marcus spin and drive and take the ball to the 30-yard line. Got 3 on the play. Third down. David Schnell, number 55, able to make the stop for the Wildcats. 3rd down and 2 coming up.
Well, these are the type fullbacks that you want. You want a guy like Spivey that'll go in there, and he has the ability to make a spin move like that. But then you want the guy like Larry Zonka that you see here that will drag an entire defense down the field with him for an extra 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, you say the kind of fullback you want. We hear Stanford and Notre Dame wouldn't mind having number 42, Marcus Spivey. 3rd and 2. McDonald behind Spivey, stopped by the Arvada West defense. David Schnell, number 55, able to make the stop. And a 4th down play coming up. He might have gained half a yard on the play. It's 4th and a long yard.
Well, you see the play coming up here into the line of scrimmage. Arvada West just not giving any ground up, making big plays on the line of scrimmage against a very, very dangerous running back in Darnell McDonald.
Wildcat fans on their feet right now prior to the 4th down and 1. Mike Wolford and the Bruins going for it. One of the big plays of the first half. McDonald, 1st down and then some. Darnell, the 15, still on his feet to the 10, to the 9-yard line. It's 1st and goal.
Well, you talk about Darnell McDonald, how dangerous he can be. You only need a yard, and he gets his sight set on that 1 yard, and it can turn into a lot more. You see the hole open. Great job by the offensive line of Cherry Creek to get give Darnell McDonald the opportunity to make the 1st down, and once he gets past the line of scrimmage, he does a lot of damage.
Well, the defense came up big on 3rd down, but they couldn't do it twice.
See another angle of it right here, and you see the running ability that he does have, but credit the offensive line of Cherry Creek for getting that opportunity for him to run the ball.
Arvada West leading 10-7, but that could change momentarily. McDonald for the corner. He dives. Darnell McDonald, touchdown, Cherry Creek.
Well, a big call right there by Wolford to go for it on 4th and 1 with his key guy on their offense, Darnell McDonald, and then he's the guy that gives you the scoring opportunity, puts it in the end zone for Cherry Creek. Here's a look at it. You'll see the athletic ability of him again. Right here, the speed to the outside, strings the defense out, and right at the last minute, cuts up inside and ducks right in the end zone.
Darnell McDonald has given the Bruins the lead. Brad Winter will try and make it a 4-point advantage. At a Rebstock's hold, the kick on the way, and the kick is wide. So Winter hooked it. And with 4:13 to go till halftime, Cherry Creek has taken the lead, but it's a 3-point lead, not a 4. Timeout. Cherry Creek leads 13-10.
Ever since I started traveling with Easy Cart, all my other luggage is obsolete.
Introducing the revolutionary new Easy Cart from Samsonite Brands.
I used to have a sore arm every time I flew. Then I found Easy Cart.
Designed with a 4-wheel system so you can push it or pull it with the weight off your arms and on the ground for maximum maneuverability.
And this terrific set of shelves keeps the whole family organized.
Make your next trip an easy one with a new Easy Cart from the family of Samsonite Brands. Samsonite, Lark, and American Tourister.
Yes, there is a low-fare airline in Denver, and here's proof. Fly Frontier, Denver's low-fare airline. Seats are limited, restrictions apply. If you didn't think there was a low-fare airline in Denver, check these numbers. Always low fares to every Frontier town. That's the spirit.
The spirit of Frontier.
An up-close look at Darnell McDonald, the super running back. But, Jeff, the way we hear it is football is not really in his future.
Well, he is an excellent baseball player. We talked about that earlier. And you know, rumors have it right now that he might be one of the top 10 players taken in the entire draft this year.
Darnell McDonald, 13 carries, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns. McDonald and Will Rogers going head-to-head. Arvada West on the kickoff, getting good running room out to the 35 to the 38-yard line. Eric Nelson, 5 foot 10 inches, 160-pound junior. Eric Nelson gives the Wildcats pretty good field position at the 38-yard line.
Well, special teams in games like this, and any big game in football, special teams become such a big part because kickoff returns, punt returns, that type of stuff can give you tremendous field position if you can get one to break, and that's what happened. They get all the way up to the 37-yard line.
Gary Miller with Jeff Campbell and Marcia Neville, and we've got a pretty good football game brewing. 4 minutes to go till halftime, and the Bruins leading the Wildcats 14, make it 13-10. And they're in that formation with wide receivers each way, a man in motion. And here's Cutlip to lob out to the far side. Ooh, that's a dangerous-looking pass, isn't it?
Well, that was something that he probably shouldn't have put up. They come out in a spread formation, 2 wide receivers on each side, like you would see in a run-and-shoot offense. They motion a guy across to get the defense to shift over, and he throws the ball. It was kind of a wobbler out there that could have been picked off very easily.
Yeah, hang it up there for about 3 or 4 seconds. You see the Bruins. Yeah, it's cold out there. It's sunny and a nice day in terms of a football game, but boy, after a while, I'm sure it starts to get particularly to the crowd here at the Stutler Bowl, and you can see the kids on the sidelines. Will Rogers off the right side to the 41-yard line, stopped there by Matt Stoneking, number 96.
Well, now momentum swings back over to Cherry Creek. Their defense now starting to step up and make plays on Arvada West's offense. So a game that we talked about earlier that might have been a high-scoring game so far has been a very low-scoring defensive battle.
Well, there's another big play, Jeff. We talked about it the other way, but again, Cherry Creek, after getting a touchdown, taking the lead, would love to stop Arvada West 3 and out. 3rd down and 8. They fake the blitz. And Cutlip rolls right, throws back left, and Rogers has running room, a lot of it, into Creek territory, the 40, the 35. He's still on his feet, the 30-yard line. Will Rogers all the way to the 21-yard line. What a terrific play.
What a play by Arvada West. Excellent call by the coaching staff of Arvada West. Will Rogers on the outside had nobody around him. You see that they fake the play. Well, actually, you really don't see it. What they did, you see they fake the play to the right side. Will Rogers comes out of the backfield to the left. The linebacker should have been on Rogers at some point, wasn't there, and then the athletic ability and the running skills of Rogers takes over, gets him behind his blockers for a big play.
A 38-yard gain to the 22-yard line. 1st down, Arvada West. So on 3rd and 8, they get 8 plus 30. And the Wildcat fans imploring their team with a flag thrown before the ball can be snapped, and perhaps a delay of game coming up against the Wildcats. So following the big gainer, Arvada West took a little bit too much time to get their act together.
Well, that's
a timeout called. Go ahead, Jeff.
That's what makes Dave Logan's offense so dangerous, is because he puts so many different formations out there that sometimes it confuses defenses. And when they do that, it allows plays like Will Rogers just ran to be big plays because defenses are confused. They can't get everybody on a man. And, they score quickly because of that.
Logan out there in Dave's long career, and a lot of people believe he's the greatest athlete the state of Colorado has ever produced. He never before has participated in a championship game. Didn't do it at Wheat Ridge and when he was a player, and this is the first time around for Dave Logan, who's done, I think, just about everything else. You can get the inside story of yesterday's Buffs-Huskers thriller from the coach himself on the Rick Neuheisel Show, along with the highlights, interviews, and insights only the coach can share. The Rick Neuheisel Show is tomorrow night at 10:35, following News 4 tonight, only on News 4. I think the Buffs probably have a severe case of Husker hangover today.
Well, I'll tell you, they gave it a great shot yesterday. It was a game that could have gone either way. A couple plays made the difference in the game, but, nobody gave CU a chance. They came in there and gave them a shot, put them on the ropes for a while, and just couldn't get the knockout.
1st down play for Arvada West. It's 1st and 15 following the delay penalty. And they work the pitch, and here comes Nelson turning the corner inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Forced out of bounds there by number 55, Ryan Lance, and number 57, Greg Ciaz. So Nelson gets the 5 yards back following the penalty. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Arvada West running backs, Nelson and Rogers, do an excellent job of getting up the field as soon as they get the ball. They're not running sideways or horizontal. They're getting up the field and getting positive yardage out of every time they touch the ball.
Ball at the 23-yard line. 2nd down play. And Cutlip looking. And the timing pattern for Proto knocked away. A great defensive play by number 1, Jeff Brunson. The timing pattern for the end zone, and Jeff Brunson's timing was better than anyone's.
Well, Brunson using his size at defensive back, you know, he's a 6'1", 175 pounds, and he's just bigger than the wide receiver of Arvada West. You see the ball come up there. When the ball gets down, you got a short receiver and a big defensive back. That's what happens right there. He has the ability to use his size to knock that ball down.
Terrific coverage. It's 3rd and just about 11 with 2.5 to go in the first half. Creek leading 13-10, but Arvada West threatening. Trips right. Cutlip to throw on 3rd and 11. Step up in the pocket now, and as he's hit, he faked the pass, but down he goes to the 25-yard line. So the Creek defense makes the big play, the 3rd time they have sacked Steve Cutlip. Fred Ross, number 51, got him.
Well, that was smart by Cutlip at the end not to throw that ball when he's in there, but great pressure by the defensive line of Cherry Creek to get up the field, force him out of the pocket, and then 3 or 4 guys grab onto him. But right there, as you see, he pulls the ball down and doesn't create a turnover, because those are the times you throw a ball out there and they can pick it off.
Arvada West talking it over, and I think they'll let the clock roll. They will, and call a timeout. Football's the 25-yard line. If they try to field goal, it would be about a 42-yarder. And I think that's just about as far as Dan Harmon can kick. He did kick one from 43 yards away. So it's 4th down, about 13 or 14 needed for the first down. And Logan, again, is going to talk things over with his offense.
Well, he's got so many different formations, and he's got such an incredible running back behind him with Will Rogers. It'll be interesting to see what he does with it.
Of course, that play he got about 38 yards a few minutes ago didn't look too bad when he threw the ball to Will Rogers for the big 38. Sports Extra, the only place for extra coverage of the Broncos' road to the Super Bowl, with all the highlights and post-game interviews from tomorrow's game against the Seahawks. Extra buffs, extra abs, extra Broncos, all on Sports Extra. Tonight at 10:35 following News 4 Tonight, and tomorrow at 11:05 following the Neuheisel Show right here on News 4. Well, you're Rocky Martin, the Creek defensive coordinator. You're trying to think along with Dave Logan. I think it's almost impossible.
Well, his offense is extremely complicated. The play that we read earlier in the broadcast is that's a big time play for high school football.
Did you understand it right away?
No, I didn't, to be honest with you. I don't know. Offensive language is a lot different depending on the coach.
4th and 13, Wildcats go for it. Cutlip in trouble. Steve still on his feet. Steve trying to break a tackle, and he's still on his feet. Cutlip with some amazing dancing finally goes down back at the 42-yard line. Steve Cutlip was able to stay up for about 5 or 6 seconds. Looked like a guy trying to ride a bronc, but finally they brought him down. Ryan Lance and Ben Witt able to make the play as the Bruin defense makes the big stop.
Well, defensive line, a lot of pressure up front against Arvada West. And then Cutlip doing everything he can do to try to get the ball thrown to somebody, and too much pressure by Cherry Creek, and they get a sack for a big loss.
Really is a big loss from the 25 to the 39-yard line, a 14-yard loss. They've sacked Cutlip 4 times in the game. Creek stops the Wildcats, and now they go on offense, and Gusmus throws for Higgins into Wildcat territory. He's out of bounds, the 43-yard line. So now it's the Bruins trying to mount a drive. Leon Martin, number 1, made the stop. 1:39 to go till halftime. We'll take another look at Pat Higgins, who was wide open on the near sideline.
Well, this is a play right out of a run-and-shoot book. This is a switch pattern where the 2 wide receivers switch positions, and it gets the defensive backs a little confused, and Higgins down the sidelines for a big play.
So Martin was in the area, just wasn't looking back for the football, so didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, that's when you run a switch route like that, it can confuse the defensive backs that are on the play.
First down for the Bruins. Clock running, 1:19 to go, and Cherry Creek has to call time, and one of the coaches on the far side wasn't very happy about that, but the Bruins, lest they get a penalty for delaying the game, forced to use a timeout with 1:16 to go till halftime, and Gusmus goes to the far sideline. It's one of the things Cherry Creek told us during the week. Ben Gusmus is a first-year starter, and that's the way it works here at Cherry Creek. Their quarterbacks get 1 year and 1 year only, and they too run a complicated offense. We've talked a lot about Arvada West's offense, and Ben Gusmus at times isn't quite up to snuff on what play has to be brought in a situation like this where they're trying to hurry up. And in this case, they had to call a timeout.
Well, that's, you've got so many kids at Cherry Creek that, you get a quarterback who only gets 1 year. He may make mistakes with plays that come in like that. But, you got to credit them a lot. They've only get 1 year, and every year they seem to be in the finals. And if you don't have a good quarterback, you're not going to go to the finals.
Mark your calendars, Sunday, January 5th, the premiere of the Ricardo Patton Show here on News 4. A whole new season for CU men's basketball. News 4, the only place you'll see a wrap-up of the week's games from the coach. The Ricardo Patton Show, Sunday, June 5th at 11:05 on News 4. First down for Creek and Darnell McDonald. Look at Darnell to the open field. Big trouble now. The 20-yard line. Darnell to the 10, to the 5. It's a touchdown for the Bruins. Wow. Darnell McDonald just doesn't ever give up. He just never gives up. He is a very, very competitive young man. A lot of running backs in that play would have run out of bounds because they saw no room. Here's an opportunity for you to take a look at what he actually does here. A little counter action off the gut, comes outside. Most running backs would have shut down and put their head down, but he cuts back and opens himself up about a 40-yard field now because he's got all that room to run and uses his speed to get in the end zone. 42-yard touchdown run by Darnell McDonald. A moment ago it was Arvada West threatening. Cherry Creek's defense was able to stop them, and now the Bruins have scored and scored quickly. They lead 19-10. And it was Creek lining up for 2, and before they can try the 2-point conversion, they're forced to use another timeout. That's their final timeout. You get 3 per half, and Creek's now used up their quota. And they'll go to the far side and talk things over and see what kind of play they want to run, and hopefully, from their point of view, give themselves an 11-point lead prior to the half. Of course, Arvada West going to get the ball back with about a minute to go, and that's plenty of time for Logan and his offense. Yeah, with only 14 plays in the last game and scoring 21 points, I'd say that about a minute 5 that's left on the clock is like an eternity for them. But, from a defensive standpoint, Arvada West has got to get back to their basics and try to contain Darnell. Don't allow him to do the cutback runs. Make him take angles where you can get him out of bounds and don't allow him to cut back. Now, I know for a fact that's easier said than done. Absolutely easier said than done. Cherry Creek will come out for the 2-point conversion. And from 3 yards away, you would think, give the ball to Darnell, let him pick a hole. McDonald, 14 carries, 161 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and we haven't played a half yet. Instead, they lob it in the end zone, and Rebstock goes up, brings it down. It is good for Cherry Creek. Oh, what a catch. Wow, Pete Rebstock. We talked about him earlier, that he's a guy that Cherry Creek needs to get. Cherry Creek